Hey guys, are you looking for quick and cute handmade gift ideas? In this video, I'll show you how to create 3 stylish and unique DIY accessories. This beginner-friendly sewing project is a perfect friendly budget gift for friends, family, or yourself. Whether you are crafting for the holidays, birthdays, or just because, I think this will be perfect for anyone that wants to make a thoughtful gift. For the first one, you're going to make a personalized key holder. So I'm just using this as a template. That's 10 centimeter in the box, in all sides of the box. So that I'll just stay within this box when I'm drawing the letter. So I'm using letter A for this tutorial. You can draw letter C from this template. You can draw any kind of letter depending on the letter the person's name starts from. So that's the reason I just created this box, so I'll stay within the box. Your box can be smaller, it can be 5 centimeter on all sides, or it can just be 10 centimeter like mine. So I just want mine a little bit bigger, so that's why I'm using this box. So after this, I cut out the shape of the drawing, and then I use it to trace on the material I'm using. I decided to use a leather for this. You can actually use any kind of material you have, but this is easier because it's just direct once you use leather. So this is just a piece of leather I have lying around, so I just use it to cut out 2 letters, and then I'm going to join it together. And I'm showing this process because I realize it's not easy to cut out some parts whenever you trace. So I'm using a blade and then the art surface to cut out this middle part, because it wasn't easy to use my scissors for this. But if you have a very small scissors, I think it will work. So anytime you face any kind of challenge when it comes to cutting out the shape, I think a blade will do, or a cutter. So the next, I just cut out this piece of leather. I'm just going to use it at the top, but before I sew it round, I'm just going to place the key ring and then use a pin to hold it down while I sew. So I don't have that kind of small pin, so I just use peg. So at this point, you can use a sewing machine to sew out all the shapes, or you can just decide to use your needle and thread to sew. So after sewing, I discovered some parts were just sticking out, so I just use my scissors to shape out the ones that are sticking out, so just to give it a fine finish. And for any thread that is sticking out, I advise that you just use a lighter to melt it down. That will give it a permanent and fine finish. So this is it after substituting everything. The next thing I discovered was to add a more vibrant color to it, because this thread is actually good. So I added blue, but from the lighting you can't really see it, but I added blue color to it. So this is a very good and unique personalized key holder that you can give somebody as a gift. So hope you learned something from this and you give it a try. And our next handmade gift is going to be flower Scrunchie, which is in itself unique and a perfect gift for anyone. So I'm just going to use this piece of paper to cut out the petals. So this is just to save myself the stress of using a natural fabric. So I'm just going to cut this like this and then rule out like about 5 centimeter, so that I'm just going to place this cup and put the petal on it. So if you want it bigger, you just get a bigger cup and then fold it a bit bigger than this. So this is just the size I want, because I want the petal to be more. So I'm just going to cut this out now and then use it as a pattern to cut out in the fabric. This is actually beginner friendly. That's why I'm doing like this. Generally I would just do this directly on the fabric, but it's easier for beginners to do it this way in case of any kind of mistake. So this is the fabric I'm using. It's folded in 2. So I'm just going to place the pattern on it, and then I use it to draw out the petals. So I'll just use it for all the shape that is cut out like this. I won't cut this out, I'll just sew it. Like I said, it's beginner friendly, so this way is easier to manage. So after sewing, I'm just going to cut out the excess from this shape. So just because of this tutorial, that's why I'm using a different thread. I advise you use a thread that matches the fabric. So this is just for you to see what I'm doing. That's why I'm using a different thread. So afterward, I'm just going to cut it in the middle from this side so that I'll be able to turn it over easily. You see this work, that's what makes it very thoughtful for Christmas gift, because it's all about love and sharing love. So the next thing, I'm just going to add any scrap piece lying around just to give this firmness, give it character, make it look 3D and all that. So just look for any pieces around you and then just put it into the petals. Also, even if you don't have a sewing machine, you can really do this with a needle and thread. Very easy. So the next thing, I'm just going to sew the side, and then I'm going to fold it in and then sew along this line just to close it up neatly. So this is it after closing it up. So the next thing, I'm just going to look for a elastic band just the size of my wrist is okay, and then just pass it through the channel to the other side and then tie. So after tying, you just look for the edges and place one of it into the other, and then stop stitch or just tack it with your needle and thread just to give it a good finishing. Like I said, I'm using a thread just to show what I'm doing. Usually you won't have been able to see, so you just use your needle and thread to cover that joining side with the petal so that that joining become invisible. That way it gives it a very good finishing. And this is the final results. This is so cute and is a perfect gift for the festive season for any loved one. So by the time this is used to hold the hair, it just sits properly and firmly. And for the last one, which is also my fave, you just need an A4 paper, and then you use it to draw the shape of heart. So this is actually freestyle, that's why you need a paper to do this, so that you can just curve your hand and do it until you do it properly, and then cut, then use it for cutting at the fabric you want to use for this project. So I decided to use a red color velvet, but you can use satin or any other fabric that you have on ground. So I just use it to cut out this love shape. And if you're still wondering what is going to be, this is actually going to be another crunchy, but this is actually a love shape crunchy. So I'm just going to use this same cup to cut out the middle. Of course, you're supposed to make sure that there's enough space at the top part and then enough space at the down part. So that's what I did here. So I'm just making sure the shape at all sides are equal before I cut out. And then the next thing I did was just cut out the middle and then open it. And the reason for this opening, so that I'll be able to work with this fabric. So I'm just going to sew the love like this down, but not entirely to the tip. I just leave at least 3 centimeter or 2 centimeter from the tip. So this is it after sewing. I'm just going to nip it so that by the time I turn over, it's going to sit properly. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to stuff it with, of course, piece of scrap piece lying around. This is actually optional. You can decide to just leave it without stuffing it, but I kind of like the whole bubbling thing going down here, so that's why I decided to stuff it. So the next thing I'm going to do will be to join these front edges together and then the back edge together, so that way to be easy to close up later on. So this is it after sewing the front side and the back side. So the next step is just to sew this middle part. I'm just going to fold and sew it round. Although I think I will advise you to use bias for this middle part, simply because it was not easy for me to sew round with sewing machine, but I think with needle and thread it's going to be easier. So the next thing, I'm just going to use this same elastic band to put it inside round, and then I'm going to tie it. So while you're still here, give this video a like, subscribe for step-by-step instructions, helpful sewing tips, and fun upcycling fashion. Trust me, you need to subscribe now if you haven't. So this is it. After putting in the elastic band, I'm just going to sew that edge, and then we are good to go. Now, which gift idea was your favorite? Let me know in the comment down below. Also, in my next video, I'm going to be teaching you gift wrapping and made accessories, how you can easily wrap these gifts that you've made, different ways to do handmade gift wrapping. Just stay tuned and then come back. Make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Bye for now.